So one of the things that we talked about earlier is JW and the Pearl were together a long time, and their stint in Mobile came to an end. And it wasn't because of this, but there was an incident towards the end of their career together, and the Pearl got shot. And JW had to take some action. Can you tell us that story, JW?
Sure.
No.
Your lawyer? No. my attorney?
Yeah. His attorney
I'm going to keep my eyes on my attorney to see. Oh, yeah, I remember it. Yeah, I remember it pretty well.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was one of the first to show up, me and Brad Owens. But go on. I don't want to take the glory from this. But.
So this will probably morph into something else, but our night started off at Sundecker's, having dinner.
Having dinner, okay. Let's specify that.
So we always ate, and then right after roll call, we'd eat, and then go out, try to pick something up. And usual haunts. I think we were assigned to the 8th district, so we went up to the 8th district. And see a dude in front of a vacant house, not looking like he belongs there. So we get out to try to talk to him. And right away, I'm driving. Pearl gets out and goes over to the guy to, talk to him. And he goes to reach for his waistband to give him a little pat down, and the guy hauls off and punches Pearl. Tries to, and then starts running. And I don't know if it made contact with Pearl or not, the punch. But Pearl starts running, and that's when we were in SWAT, so we could run pretty good. But anyway, so they're running. It was on St. Louis, just west of Vandevenner.
Right.
And I jump in the car, and I can see him heading towards the corner of St. Louis and Vandevenner to the north. So they're going. Yeah, to the north, to the northwest corner, and there's buildings on all 4 corners. So I'm like, all right. So I go down that way, and I see him round the corner of, I think it's a dry cleaners. So I round that corner, and I see Pearl running alongside the building on Vandevenner. And I don't see dude, or maybe I did, but in the back of that, there's a parking area behind that building. So I see dude back behind the parking building, and I round to the alley, and by this time the guy's in the center of the alley, and Pearl's running across the parking lot, and I'm driving. I just turned into the alley, and can you cuss on here?
Well,
Fuck
yeah. We encourage you.
I very rarely cuss,
Yeah.
but bigger than shit, the guy is standing in the center of the alley, and he's got a handgun, and it looks as big as that big screen TV. And so he shoots at me, and then he pivots and shoots at Pearl. Then he pivots back to me and shoots at me. He's going back and forth. I don't know how many times. So I'm like, I duck down. I start screaming.
Scream like
to
a little
myself.
girl, did you?
Yeah, I screamed like a little girl.
You hey, whoa. Hey, you're in mowers. You cut that shit out. Hey, Jack, we're not putting that in there.
Yeah, I'm joking about that. So actually, no, I did duck down and
That was a smart move.
yeah, smart move, and just floored it right at the guy, and home run.
I believe
Make good contact.
I believe the report indicated that he was pinned between the front of your car and a dumpster, possibly.
Good. That's probably a good guess.
We'll just
I'm
Yes,
high.
I'll say
we'll
it
just
probably
say
was.
something like that.
No,
Statute of limitation is
Keep-
way up.
Is that true?
Yes.
So it wasn't pinned.
He's your attorney now?
I had struck him and then continued on a little bit past him, but he bounced off the front of the police car and hit the dumpster
Okay.
and continued.
Through the dumpster.
Well,
No,
let me just.
he still had the gun in his hand, and so he was.
But during the incident, when he was slinging shots at both of you, the Pearl gets hit with a. Does he get hit with a round?
Well, I don't know that. He does, but I don't know that. And so I hit the guy with the car, and then I go over to where the guy's at on the dumpster. Note
On the dumpster.
On the-
He's on the dumpster.
He was
on the dumpster. And
Hey, this has got the dog thing written all over it.
yeah.
I think there's a dumpster.
Yeah,
I think I might have seen a dumpster.
So anyway, he gets finalized right there.
So he wasn't doing well.
Well, then Pearl comes up behind me and he goes, "How bad am I hit?" And at this point, I didn't know he was hit. He looked like a below pop, like a cherry below pop. His head is just covered in blood.
Did he ask how bad he was hit?
I didn't know at the time. I'm telling you, it looked like a below pop.
But he was walking around because
He's walking around. How bad am I hit? And he's walking around. First thing he said after how bad am I hit is, anybody got a phone? I called for help. You know, I called for the cavalry, and
Right.
first thing he wanted was a phone.
What's
So
up?
blood's coming out of his
What's up?
face. And
What's
so
up?
what ends up happening? I mean, where'd all the blood come? Was it?
So he was running down the side of the building. Like I said, the bad guy was cutting across the back parking lot, and it nicked. When he fired at Pearl coming around the corner, it nicked the corner of the brick building, and it fragmented all down Pearl's left side of his head, but missed his eye. But it was just
Fragments did.
fragments all. Yeah,
So the fragments were of the
the bullet.
bullet and the brick.
now let me.
I don't know
if-
about any
Let me know
brick.
if this is true or not. Though. I know this is true. So I'm asking a question the answer to, but the one fragment it kind of fouled his skull and it stayed in the crown of his head. It did because because Pearl said he finally came, they weren't going to remove it.
Go ahead.
Okay, they remove it, and it finally came out like months later. He's washing his hair, and it came out. I think that's what happened.
But he had pulled pieces out for weeks.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we'd be down
okay.
Sundeckers and ding,
Oh, okay.
another piece would throw it into the glass bowl or whatever. Dink. Oh, there's another
Now, here,
one.
real quick, if you don't mind. That night, I'm at home. I'm off. So I'm watching TV, and I see a thing scroll across the bottom. It says, St. Louis City policeman shot. So I'm like, shit. So I called Speece. He was working that night. He was like in the 7th. So I call him, and I go, hey, who shot? And he goes, all I can tell you, it's Pearl, and he's shot in the head. And I'm like, oh my God. So I get up, I'm going to get dressed and head to the hospital, right? And I go, man, how bad is he? He goes, oh, he's fine. He's up walking. I go, Joe, you just said he shot in the head. And he goes, yeah, it's Pearl. He shot in the head.
Yeah, what's for dinner? You want a salami sandwich?
Well, I just remember his voice on the radio calling for the troops. He's pretty calm. He wasn't calm then, and we're like, holy crap. So Brad Owens and I flew there. I think we were the second car there. But I remember pulling up in the parking lot, and Pearl was standing there, walking around in a daze, and he's bloody. And I go, you're okay? He goes, yeah, I think I'm fine. I'm like, why are you still here? You need to go to the hospital, dude. So finally he goes, I guess so. So then I don't know who took him to the hospital.
Levon Smart and somebody.
So the police took him.
Threw him. Yeah, police threw him in the.
I do remember getting I was the same as you. I think we were on the same text thread.
I called
When it
Joe.
came
I
out.
actually called him.
And
So-
I wasn't. I was like, God damn. And that was right after somebody else had gotten shot. I mean, there was some violence going down.
Violence going down.
There was some violence going down. And
Mayhem.
and mayhem and all that good stuff.
I believe the guy was a pretty big dude, too, wasn't he?
Yeah. Not big enough.
No?
Big target.
He
But
couldn't
Pearl and I
run.
never talked on the radio. We didn't
No.
really talk at all.
That's why we knew something was wrong when he got up and said something
Right.
like,
And I remember
"Holy
Tommy
shit."
Favazza going, you got on the radio, and we didn't know, and you started, asking for help, and we didn't know who you were.
Never recognized the voice.
Because we never heard you talk on the radio before.
He was new down there. I knew exactly who it was. So it's like, holy shit, this ain't normal.